If you were dropped into the wild right now, no tools, no weapons, no shelter, you wouldn't be a predator. You wouldn't even be prey. You'd be something worse. A resource. Something that moves slowly. Something that sweats. Something that bleeds easily and sleeps deeply. Something that can't smell danger before it arrives. Something that can't hear footsteps through grass. Something whose eyes shut completely when it rests. Because for most of human history, we weren't the ones being hunted. We were the ones being tested, not chased, not attacked right away, watched, measured, and remembered by animals that had been doing this longer than we'd existed. We like to think of ourselves as apex predators, the smartest, the planners, the species that rose to the top, brains over brawn, teamwork over teeth, intelligence over instinct. It's a comforting story, one that makes modern life feel earned, one that suggests we climbed the food chain instead of escaping it. But that story only works with tools in our hands, because without them, the hierarchy collapses instantly. Strip away fire, strip away weapons, strip away distance. What's left isn't dominance, it's exposure. Early humans didn't walk the world like kings. They didn't stride through the savannah unconcerned. They moved cautiously. They paused often. They scanned the ground, the grass, the tree line. They listened more than they spoke. They slept lightly, if they slept at all. Because the wild didn't care how clever you were. A lion didn't care about intelligence. A leopard didn't care about cooperation. A hyena didn't care about potential. Only whether you survived the night. Because surviving the night didn't mean you were safe. It meant something had decided you weren't worth the effort, yet. Our bodies were never built to win fights, not against real predators. A deer runs faster than you ever will, and for longer. A wolf's bite pressure shatters bone with ease. A big cat sees you long before you ever see it, especially at night. And a bear doesn't need to think at all. It simply endures. Predators are built for violence in ways humans are not. You have no claws to defend yourself, no fangs to deter an attack, no fur thick enough to matter when teeth close in. Your skin tears easily, your bones break cleanly, your muscles fatigue quickly, your eyes fail when the sun goes down, exactly when most predators become confident. And endurance? That only works if water is nearby. And predators have always known where that is. Early humans didn't overpower animals. They avoided them. They learned to read tracks pressed into soil. They watched birds scatter. They smelled the air for unfamiliar scents. They froze at unfamiliar sounds because movement meant detection. They moved through the landscape like guests who stayed too long aware they were never alone. And once you realize how poorly built we were for this world, you start to understand why so many predators treated us like part of it. This is the part we forget. Humans weren't just afraid of predators. They were on the menu. Leopards dragged people from the edges of camps at night, silently, not charging, not chasing, but slipping in close enough that no alarm was raised until it was too late. Big cats waited along narrow paths humans used every day, memorizing the moment when footsteps slowed, when vision narrowed, when attention drifted forward instead of outward. Wolves didn't rush groups. They observed them. They learned which members limped, which children wandered, which adults fell behind without noticing. Crocodiles didn't attack humans. They incorporated them into their feeding routines, the way they did antelope or boar. These weren't accidents. There was no ceremony to it, no hatred, no hesitation. A lion didn't snap. A crocodile didn't go rogue. Predators didn't fear humans, they learned us. They learned how we walked upright and couldn't sprint, how we rested in predictable places, how we returned to the same water sources again and again. They learned that humans looked forward, but rarely behind. They learned which times of day humans relaxed, which sounds meant distraction, which movements meant vulnerability. And once an animal learned that lesson, it didn't forget it. Because for predators, memory is survival. Predators don't hunt strength. They hunt patterns. And humans are nothing if not predictable. The same paths to water. The same trails between shelter and food. The same crossings, day after day. Early humans followed rivers. Predators followed early humans, not because rivers were dangerous, but because everything eventually came to them. Wells, crossings, narrow passes, places where movement slows, where attention drops, where escape options disappear. Predators didn't need to guess. They waited where success was repeatable. A tiger didn't need to chase when it could wait. A lion didn't need speed when it had timing. A crocodile didn't need aggression when gravity did the work. Predators learned patience because patience paid. They learned where humans hesitated, where they slipped, where they relaxed their guard because nothing had happened yesterday. They learned that safety wasn't real, it was just the absence of consequences so far. This wasn't chaos, it was efficiency. And here's the uncomfortable part. That hasn't changed. We still walk the same routes, we still trust familiarity, we still assume repetition equals safety. Predators notice, they always have. So humans adapted, not by becoming stronger, by becoming louder. Fire wasn't just warmth, it was a boundary predators hesitated to cross. Flames flickered unpredictably, smoke burned eyes and lungs. Light broke the illusion of darkness. Noise wasn't communication, it was intimidation. Shouting, drumming, stone on stone. Groups didn't fight better, they looked bigger. Early humans didn't win battles with animals, they negotiated space. Firelight flickered at the edge of camp. Shadows stretched to look larger than bodies really were. Eyes watched the dark, knowing something was watching back. And sometimes, it failed. A torch went out. A fire died early. A watchman slept too deeply. And when that happened, predators didn't hesitate. Conflict wasn't heroic, it was desperate. And survival was never guaranteed. Here's the twist we don't like to admit. Humans didn't become apex predators. We became environmental manipulators. We changed the rules instead of winning the game. Fire created borders animals avoided. Weapons created distance predators couldn't close. Traps removed danger without confrontation. Noise created illusions of strength. We didn't outfight predators. We removed ourselves from the fight. That's the truth hiding under the myth. An apex predator dominates with its body, and humans dominate by making sure the fight never happens. But systems break. Fire runs out. Weapons fail. Distance collapses. At night, in dense brush, in moments of surprise. That's when the old hierarchy returns. Because when tools disappear, so does our advantage. When firelight flickers low, predators move closer. When visibility drops, they gain confidence. When sound is swallowed by wind or rain, they advance without warning. Predators don't panic when conditions worsen. They improve. Darkness gives them cover. Confusion gives them time. Silence gives them opportunity. In those moments, intelligence doesn't matter. Planning doesn't matter. Teamwork doesn't matter. Only reaction time does. And suddenly humans don't look like conquerors. They look like what they always were. Animals without armor, without instincts fast enough, without bodies built for violence. Every time our advantages disappear, the wild remembers exactly where we belong. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and tune in for more wildlife stories.